Greetings, my fellow YouTubers. I'm Dole, aka the Big D of Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. Back again with another superhero flick review. This time I bring to you the first installment of the foursome flicks of the Man of Steel, Superman. And of course, that first would be Superman, or Superman the movie, as it was promoted as, released in 1978, directed by Richard Donner after he directed The Omen a couple of years before this. And this was before he even directed other great movies, including The Goonies and the Lethal Weapon franchise. The film stars Christopher Reeve in the title role, with Marlon Brando as his dad Jor-El, Gene Hackman as Lex Luthor, Margot Kidder as Lois Lane. Let's see. Jackie Cooper as Perry White, the owner and big boss man of the Daily Planet. Let's see. Oh yeah, and Susanna York as Jor-El's wife. And sorry. See, there's Valerie Perrine as Miss Tessmacher, Luthor's secretary, I think, and let's see, Ned Beatty as Otis, kind of a goofball assistant or something to Luthor, and many others. I must say I did enjoy this. Oh yeah, and there was Glenn Ford as Superman's Earth dad, Jonathan Kent. Can't remember who played Martha Kent though. But anyway, I'm going to say I loved this movie. It is one of the most amazing superhero flicks I had seen. But anyway, this came out about 40 years after the first ever Superman comic came in Action Comics. We see how the planet Krypton's about to explode with its red sun, and which, of course, if you've read the comics, that's Superman's other type of weakness other than green kryptonite. But anyway, Jor-El's not to be believed in because of what's going to happen. So he and his wife send their kid, who is a baby, Kal-El, to planet Earth, gains powers from the sun, lands in Smallville, and gets adopted by Martha and Jonathan Kent, and is dubbed the name Clark Kent. I mean, he's got all his powers, and, well, loses his Earth dad, and soon after that, he finds a green crystal. He takes it somewhere and throws it, and soon creates the Fortress of Solitude and finds these crystals, and, well, soon hears the voice of his dad. His real dad, Jor-El. Anyway, learns of all sorts of things and soon gets his first super suit. Then we go travel years later to when he's grown up and is now in Metropolis and soon gets a job for the Daily Planet and gets to meet everybody. Perry White, Lois Lane, who Margot Kidder actually does a great job, of course, before she even did the Amityville Horror the following year, although she did do some other flicks before this, like the original Black Christmas. And I guess to say she does an excellent job. I loved her performance in this. But anyway, soon two cops are learning where they might be able to find the criminal mastermind Lex Luthor, but one of them gets caught in a bit of a trap of Luthor's, gets forced onto the train track. Well, I mean subway track. Well, whatever you think it is, a subway or train. Yeah, you get the point. So anyway, Luthor is planning to cause a big earthquake with these nuclear missiles. So they managed to figure out what the plan is, and soon Superman is becoming real big. On his first night, he sees Lois hanging from the helicopter that gets caught in kind of a big wire and crashes just on right on the ledge of the Daily Planet building. Clark looks for a phone booth, but they don't have it like in the old times, so he rushes into the spinning doors and becomes Superman and charges it up. And people couldn't believe what they saw. They got it's like, don't worry, I got you. And Lois is like, you got me? Who's got you? Yeah. And soon, once he gets her back up, and he asks the pilot if everybody was okay, and well, it tells Lois, I hope this wasn't a bad experience or anything, and other things. Once he says bye and flies off, Lois faints. So Superman does all sorts of things. Stops its cat burglar who's using these here stick-on things that stick to the windows of the skyscraper. He gets caught on Superman's boot. He's like, "Hi there, something wrong with the elevator?" And then catches him. Real Jill thief. Real funny moment. Gets this little girl's cat out of a tree. And she runs in and tells her mother thing, and it's like, haven't I told you not to tell lies? Oh boy. And then these goons are getting away in a car and then head for this here yacht, and later on Superman catches them in the end. This one's about to hit him with a crowbar, smacks him and starts shaking, and Superman's like, bad vibrations? And so he manages to bring in the crooks, the whole yacht, and all. Woo! I gotta say, it's really something. Superman becomes a big name in the newspapers, including the Daily Planet. He gets to, be interviewed by Lois and what have you. Manages to become a bit of a, interest to her. But anyway, or something like that. It could be the other way around. I think it is. My apologies. Later on, with his super hearing, he could hear Lex Luthor. He manages to come to his hideout and find out what's going on, but apparently Luthor has a trap for him, a chunk of kryptonite on a chain like a necklace, and puts it around, weakens him. Miss Tessmacher manages to get off him because, those missiles could possibly kill one of her relatives or something like that. So, yeah. That's just once after Luthor explains his plan to destroy the world. But now I'm going to get to the last bit of this movie, so if you have not seen this movie, I'm going to give you 5 seconds to stop the video before I go on. Okay, now the ending to Superman the movie, I'm going to say, was absolutely epic. One of the missiles the missiles having gone through Luthor had gone through so much attempts, but always messes up. But soon Miss Tessmacher comes through and manages to get things done, and then the missiles head off, and Superman manages to go down to Earth's core and manages to get everything back up in order, and manages to save the kids on a school bus, a bridge from collapsing, everything, which that was really cool. But unfortunately, Lois was in another section as the missile had already exploded, and Lois was caught in her car. Earthquake started occurring, the ground began to shake and break. She was caught in her car and, covered with dirt and rubble, all that stuff. Superman's too late. Man, he feels terrible. And soon he manages to try to fix everything, but he hears his father's warning that it was forbidden to interfere with human history. And then Pa Kent told him that he was on this planet for a reason. So Superman, with all his speed, manages to turn time back a little bit and saves Lois and prevents the earthquake from happening. And also manages to save Jimmy Olsen. I forgot to mention him, who is played by Mark McClure, who I mentioned he previously starred in the original Freaky Friday before this. And soon, once he manages to get Lois back up and going, well, he they were all happy. And Jimmy says to Lois, he really that Superman really does care a lot about her. You know, and they're starting to think that it's Mr. Kent, but don't worry, they don't know. Not yet, anyway. But anyway, and then meanwhile, well, maybe not meanwhile, but later on, it's nighttime. Superman brings Luther and Lois to the state penitentiary. Yes. And it's like, these. I think that you can hold these two men here until they can get a fair trial. Warren's like, who is it, Superman? And Luthor's all bald because he was wearing a wig the whole time. He's like, Lex Luthor, the greatest criminal mind of our time. Always just keeps repeating after him, and boy, he just gets upset. And Warren smiles and says, the whole world owes all the debt of gratitude to you, thanks to you, or something like that. No, you don't have to thank me or whatever he says. We're all on the same side. Good night. And then he takes off. We see him fly out, and then off he goes. That's the end. That actually is used for the ending of all the other three movies, Superman flying off. Anyway, Superman did very well at the box office, and I gotta say, it was pretty good. It was produced by Alexander and Ilya Salkind. Yeah, they were the producers, and directed by Richard Donner. I gotta say, this was probably one of the great movies that I've ever known. Well, and that I also like the soundtrack, which was done by John Williams, who of course had already had success with doing the soundtracks to Star Wars, which came out the year before that, and Jaws. But anyway, it's been some time since I last saw this, but I've seen it numerous times, and I love Superman the movie. Now, I will review all the others. It went on to spin out 3 sequels. The next one will come out in a couple of years, which I'll be reviewing next time. So, what did you think of Superman the movie? Let me know what you thought about in the comments section. Like and subscribe to my channel, and stay tuned because next time I will be reviewing Superman 2. And I hope you'll be ready for it, everyone. So until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.